Kim Kardashian is facing what many are calling her biggest nightmare as Kanye West's newly released documentary has taken over headlines, social media feeds, and fan discussions everywhere. The film, titled In Whose Name, has only just surfaced publicly, and already it's stirring up intense controversy, raw emotions, and shocking revelations. What makes this situation so painful for Kim is not just the resurfacing of deeply personal moments, but the fact that, for the first time in years, she has no control over how she is being portrayed. For someone who has built an empire on carefully curating her image, this feels like a devastating blow. The documentary spans 6 turbulent years of Kanye's life, from 2018 to 2024, and it exposes private, unfiltered moments that were captured on thousands of hours of raw footage. Pieced together into a sleek feature-length film, the documentary strips away the polished veneer of celebrity life and throws both Kanye and Kim into the spotlight in ways neither of them could have fully anticipated. For Kanye, the project has been promoted as a brutally honest look into his battles, his breakdowns, and his defiance. But for Kim, the fallout is very different. This is about her most vulnerable, emotional moments being dragged into the public eye without her permission. To understand the gravity of what's happening, we need to look at the history. Kim and Kanye married in 2014, and for years they were one of Hollywood's ultimate power couples. Together they had 4 children, North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm, and for much of their marriage they represented glamour, influence, and cultural dominance. Kim expanded her empire with Skims and multiple business ventures, while Kanye pushed boundaries in music, fashion, and art. But as Kanye's personal struggles deepened, cracks began to show both in his career and in their marriage. His erratic public outbursts, controversial political stances, and eventually his offensive statements made headlines around the world. Throughout it all, Kim tried to shield her family and manage the chaos, but now, in this documentary, she's shown in moments of fear, frustration, and heartbreak. One of the most talked about scenes comes from a heated confrontation involving Kanye and Kris Jenner. In the footage, Kanye accuses both Kris and Kim of emasculating him, lashing out with anger, while Kris breaks down in tears, repeatedly telling him she loves him. Kanye fires back that no one in the family took responsibility for the pain he endured during his mental health crises. These raw exchanges are devastating to watch because they tear away the glossy image of unity the Kardashians usually project. Another deeply disturbing moment in the film comes when Kanye insists he would rather be dead than be on medication. It's a chilling confession that underscores the severity of his struggles with mental health and his refusal to follow traditional treatment. Hearing those words on camera is haunting, not just for viewers, but especially for Kim and her family who lived through the fear and instability that those moments created behind closed doors. Then there's the now viral phone call between Kim and Kanye, dating back to 2018. In that recording, Kim is heard saying she has been crying all day, describing her life at the time as a bad dream she couldn't wake up from. In that vulnerable moment, she warns Kanye that he is on the path to losing everything if he continues to burn bridges with the industry and lash out at those around him. Her words, "You're going to wake up one day and you're going to have nothing," ring with the urgency of someone desperately trying to pull a loved one back from the edge. Kanye, however, snaps back angrily, demanding that she never say such a thing or put that energy into the universe. That call, now exposed to millions, is a heartbreaking glimpse into the unraveling of their marriage. For Kim, the nightmare isn't only the content itself. It's the fact that she has no say in how it's presented. Kim has always been a master of media control, from reality TV shows where she had final approval over edits, to her carefully calculated Instagram posts, to her orchestrated interviews. She has built her entire career on managing her image. But this documentary strips away that safety net. It shows her breaking down, pleading, losing composure, and struggling with no polished narrative to soften the blow. Public reaction has been swift and polarizing. Kanye's fans are praising the documentary for its raw honesty, calling it a powerful look into the mind of a genius who has been misunderstood. Others, however, see it as exploitative, saying it weaponizes moments of pain for entertainment. For Kim's supporters, the outrage is even stronger. Many argue that exposing her private breakdowns is cruel, especially given her role as a mother. Fans worry about the impact this will have on her children, who may one day stumble across these scenes online. For a woman who has fought hard to shield her kids from the harshest parts of public life, this feels like a crushing betrayal. On forums, fans have been debating the ethics of the release. Some sympathize with Kanye, believing his vulnerability deserves to be seen in full context, but others are rallying behind Kim, saying no one should have to endure their rawest private moments being dissected by strangers. One theme keeps resurfacing: the Kardashian-Jenner family. For all their fame, influence, and wealth, are still human beings who experience heartbreak, fear, and trauma behind closed doors. For Kim, this couldn't have come at a worse time. Her businesses are thriving, her public image is polished, and she has been working hard to separate herself from Kanye's shadow in recent years. She has built her own identity beyond the marriage, showing herself as a savvy entrepreneur and dedicated mother. But now, with this documentary dominating the news cycle, the narrative threatens to drag her right back into the chaos of Kanye's world, a world she thought she had finally escaped. The emotional weight of this documentary is staggering. For Kim, watching scenes of herself cry, plead, and break down must feel unbearable. She has admitted in the past how hard it was to live through those moments, but to have them immortalized on screen for the world to see adds a whole new level of pain. This is why insiders close to her are calling it her biggest nightmare, because she has spent years trying to bury those wounds, only for them to be torn wide open in the public arena. The fallout is still unfolding. Will Kim publicly respond? Will she try to legally block parts of the documentary from streaming? Or will she remain silent, hoping the storm blows over? For now, she's keeping quiet, letting speculation swirl. But make no mistake, this story is far from over. The documentary is still making its way through theaters, and eventually it will stream worldwide, ensuring that millions more will see these moments. And the question remains, what will be the long-term damage? For Kanye, this could be his chance at redemption or a reaffirmation of his most controversial legacy. For Kim, it could mean reputational damage, strained brand partnerships, and a new wave of public sympathy. Either way, the impact of In Whose Name is undeniable. It has exposed both Kanye and Kim in ways no one was fully prepared for. This is the kind of celebrity drama that doesn't just dominate headlines for a few days, it reshapes public perception for years to come. And for Kim Kardashian, the nightmare has only just begun. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.